Gang, mate, and welcome back to Factorio with me, Jeddick. Now, this episode, it's going to be sort of a recap episode. We've had plenty of things that have happened, and plenty of things that are still happening, so going to be a little bit of a, like I said, a little bit of a recap episode. So, I'm starting out in the middle of nowhere. Let's start back at the main base. So the main base is basically a really hyped up module base that just makes speed modules and productivity modules and beacons. At the same time, it does produce us a little bit of science. So if we scroll along our main bus, which is fairly neat and organized, we have our make everything here that unfortunately has 200,000 wood in it, which I'm about to ship it a whole bunch more wood. We have red circuits, blue circuits. Obviously, these are fairly large builds because of the modules. We've got engines, robot frames, solar panels and accumulators, which we're going to get to shortly. And then we have some of our module builds. We have 18,000 speed modules in storage and only 6,200 prod mods. We have our science itself. Now, our science is not terribly fast. It is sort of what we need to keep things running. We're running it somewhere around about 65 science per minute. Sometimes it's a little bit higher, sometimes it's a little bit lower. It really depends on actually how many circuits are being stolen by these module builds. They have a habit of chewing up a lot of our circuit production. We have extra speed modules whacked on the end of the bus, along with some extra speed modules as well. So, like I said, the base is really, really geared towards making as many modules as possible. That's what the base is really geared for. On top of that, we've got several nuclear builds down here, which we're slowly attempting to decommission to recover that UPS. The reason we're trying to do that is, well, basically, we're trying to make as many rockets as possible. Down here, we have our first, and it is just our first, it is our first rocket module. This giant behemoth of a thing, which is like, that's the whole starter base. It's like 3 times the size of starter base, is designed to make all the materials to make 5 rockets per minute. Just 5. No more, no less. Just 5 rockets per minute. So this is going to give us enough low density structures, rocket fuel with the, which actually hasn't been changed over the new rocket fuel build. In fact, none of the oil processing down here has been changed over because we went and released that update, which I've just been dreading and trying to put off for as long as possible, changing over this oil build, because it's not exactly easy to upgrade. We'll put it that. There's a lot of throughput problems where we're envisioning to start with. And honestly, I think it would probably get worse with the new oil build. Or the new oil system. As I said, we're also doing rocket control units. So this is going to output all these items. We then need to click those items and ship them over to this one. Drop Sat Maker. Yep. So this down here is designed to make satellites. Nothing but satellites. We again need rocket control units. We again need rocket fuel. This is the actual new rocket fuel build. So this is designed to have in that sprinkle of light oil that we all love on top of our rocket fuel, along with making, where are we? Solar panels. I gotta find it. Blue circuits are, I honestly don't know where. Oh well. Accumulators, that's another build. Blue circuits must be green circuits, solar panels, blue circuits, that tiny little build there. And of course radars into our satellites themselves. So all of this does 25 satellites per minute. So that's the goal for this build. It's going to do lots and lots of satellites. We really don't have to worry about it. Whereas this one build is going to do just 5 rockets per minute. And then in theory, we can paste down 5 of these, do a whole lot of outposting to make sure it runs at peak performance. If we get that and that together, we should be able to do 25 rockets per minute. That's the plan. That's the plan. That's the goal. That's as far as we've got. Right now, I'm starting on the far side of our solar field. So our solar field, we pasted down like 5 or 10 episodes ago, and we just let it build. And it's actually been built for quite some time. In fact, at the moment, it is slowly draining the network of logistic bots. Oh wow, there's no loose Logibots running around. It's finally broken. So, it has 4,000 construction bots and 1,000 Logibots in there, which is still too many. And it needs all these lasers that we've been using for defense pulled up, and I need to come out here and I need to stamp down more solar. And this is one of the things that you guys have generally been missing out on between episodes. Me running out here and going to map view and saying, hey, I want all of those accumulators and lasers gone, please. And then pasting down solar blueprint after solar blueprint. Because we have like 177? How many solar panels do we have? 114,000 so far. But we're still using a lot of nuclear power. Of course, we're not using the accumulators yet because the nuclear power kicks in during nighttime. But like I said, we want to derelict those nuclear builds because solar is so much more efficient. And honestly, as long as you automate delivering of solar panels, delivering of accumulators and all that sort of stuff, there is really not that much to it. Okay, I want to go from here across to here. From there all the way up. Yep. That's my last paste. There we go. And I'll even turn on my robots so I can at least start clearing things out. And I won't take you through the drag of putting down this whole solar field. It's something I've been doing off camera generally. And the reason I'm actually running through and doing it this way rather than doing it from map view is purely so I have less radars I need to pick up later. As it stands, I still need to clear out these roboports, which is it's a later JD problem. I don't know how I'm going to deal with said problem. But yeah, it's definitely a later JD problem. Not a now problem. Cool. So that's that problem sorted. I'm not going to see any of those robots for like half an hour. Do I have a train on me? Yes. Do I have fuel on me? Technically I have wood. So this is our automated train that just comes out and just delivers a crap ton of solar panels with a crap ton of accumulators with just a few substations and roboports thrown in. Along with, it was bringing out radars. I have no idea why they're not on the train anymore. Obviously, they've gone... Yeah, I don't know why they're not on the train anymore. Oh, you had fuel. I wanted the fuel out of you. Okay, we're going to get on a wood-fired train. So, actually just bring up map view really quickly. So we can see there's robots everywhere flying back towards base. In fact, actually, let's bring up that. That's another thing I've been doing. I've been filtering so that particular deconstruction planer is filtered to roboports, and I've just been taking slices off the whole map. Actually, we can do... No, I need that tile. So I'm just taking slices off the map. That's all fine. That's all fine. Did we already clean? Oh, we did already clean up that robot port. So yeah, just taking slice off the map, removing all these old robot ports because they're no longer needed, which is this just slowly shrinking the network. As you can see, I've just blueprinted, you know, sort of out to here somewhere. Yep, so all that'll get built over time. In the meantime, we're going to go down to our satellite build, I guess. Which, same story, I have automated dropping off most of the materials. So we now have accumulators being dropped off. We have furnaces, speed modules, beacons, although the train, the station is out of beacons again. Belts, a lot of the basics so the robots can slowly get this built. As you can see, they are trying their absolute hardest, but there is thousands and thousands of materials required to get this built. Come on, pick up the train. Get rid of that, get rid of that. So, the way these are working, we'll go down the bottom somewhere. We'll start down the bottom. So, these require, obviously, train stations, which are not built yet, or even planned out yet, to bring in iron and copper, to then convert those into... Actually, let's work through these builds one at a time. Until I run out of materials, which will be really fast, I bet. Turn my robots on for what it's worth. So we're bringing in iron and copper. Yeah, I know, you need power. Be patient. So one of these will be iron, one of these will be copper. And I just sort of need to rinse and repeat this a few times through for all these green circuit builds. Hopefully that's copy and pastable. It is. So that's iron and copper into green circuits. Green circuits then output this lane here. And we should have 3 solid lanes of green circuits, which we're then going to flow into this lane. So 1, 2, 3. Actually, we'll move you up a tile. We'll move you up a tile. That one goes there. That one goes... Oop. That one won't reach, so we go there and there. So that brings green circuits in. This is plastic from up here, coming straight in as well. On top of that, at the other end of this, we need 4 lanes of copper, which will be 1 provided from this smelting lane, well, 2 provided from that smelting lane, and 1 obviously provided from that belt there. On top of that, I have a lane of iron, copper, depending on what I decide to feed into the bottom of this, doing nothing here. So we have 1 extra lane of smelters there, basically sitting idle. And yes, they are slightly complicated and convoluted, but all of these output I want to say 1 full blue lane of, no, 1 full red lane of red circuits. So if we go over to the actual completed build over here, which has all its modules, and I bring up Max Rate Calculator, which is a lovely mod that I've been using for a very, very long time. It'll then very quickly do the maths for us and tell me that this build in its entirety uses a full lane of green circuits, a full blue belt with green circuits, a full blue belt worth of plastic, in theory, and it's lying to me here, it says at maximum speed, it would be using 85 copper plate per minute, but we actually have 6 extra copper machines that aren't actually doing anything. So we'd have to rerun the maths with the extra 6 machines. Turns out we're only using about a lane of copper, and it outputs 31 red circuits per minute. So like I said, a red belt's worth is popping out the top. And we're taking that and we're feeding that into blue circuits, obviously. So we need 61. So that should be 2 lanes of this inputs into that. And Bob's your uncle. We have... it's got stone on the belt for some reason. Probably because some stone was lying around when the bots built it. Okay, so if I merge you two together and I say output right, output left, output left. Let's go with output left. Yeah. Thanks, autosave. You done? Output right. So, in theory, I should be able to take 30 from this belt, 15 from this belt, and output it onto this lane. Leaving 15 flowing through on that lane. When I combine that with this lot, that should, in theory, it's probably not going to. There's probably going to be some belt wiggling required later. That should, in theory, give me a full lane of 45 red circuits out. So that then has to get fed into this build, which looks like it's feeding in from the south. And I can straight away see that's the green circuits, because that's an absolute nightmare. With some funky belts along the bottom. Oh, that's also the output. Oh. That's output. That's output. That's input of green circuits. Okay, so that's the input of red circuits. So one of these builds requires 12 red circuits. Can I feed that in from the top? I don't see why not. So I'm actually overproducing red circuits by a significant amount. Well, there you go. So we're going to do... input, flip that one, flip that one, flip. I'm going to flip all these around. Which then can stop there. Yep. I'd love to blueprint it, but it's just a little bit too much belt spaghetti for me to be comfortable to just blueprint it and delete sections from the rest of them and hope that I didn't mess anything up. That was one of our long lost bots that just caught up to us. Okay, reverse, 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 reverse. Okay, done. So this should be a case of as simple as 15, 15, 45. that, shove that in there. Move it up a tile because it looks neater. Yes, I've turned into one of those sorts of players. Bring that along there. Put in a handy dandy splitter. And literally run those to there. And I will actually even put in a splitter there as the output priority right. Which should, if there's any sort of shortfall at this point, correct that problem. So, that's our red circuits into our blue circuits. From the other end of our blue circuits, we need our acid hookup, which comes from over here, which we'll get to shortly. And then we have green circuits into blue circuits. And as you can see from these builds, they require one lane to come in here, a second lane to come in there, and a third lane to come in there. The first lane gets used up, the second lane gets used up, and the third lane gets used up. So these are quite significant when it comes to chewing through green circuits. So in saying that, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 lanes of green circuits, I hope. Yep, 15 lanes of green circuits we need to plumb into here. So your output. Okay. Alright, so let's go left to right. That was really easy. Plumb that one in there. That's our blue circuit output, which is now definitely not going that way. That was for the old build we took it from. So now we're actually outputting to satellites, which are over here on our right. So it's obviously going to have to get spun around. That one goes there. That goes there. In theory, that goes there. These belts are sticking up further and further. Roboport, could you go here? Now you want power. Sheesh. Next thing you're going to ask for is robots. Yeah, that one goes that way. That one goes that way. That one goes that way. 1, 2. Oh, that's a whole pile of awkward now. No. Okay, first off, let's get the belts going the right direction. That can go away. That can go away. Turns out 18 lanes of green circuits actually takes up a significant amount of space. So hang on. You go away. You come up to there. Run that one into there. Run that one into there. That one into there. think we're just going to go with the run method. Run and drag crap as far as you can. We're going to stretch that one out as well. Turns out this build, which I thought was in a perfectly safe spot, needs to go over there now. Those will go in there, and then we can copy and paste that out to wherever the hell it ends up. That goes in the opposite direction. Yep. That one goes in there. And then we have our last build of green circuits comes in here. So, that's green circuits into blue circuits. Blue circuits are going to come out. They're going to go this way. We're lucky enough to only be dealing with one belt of blue circuits. So it's a fairly easy when it comes to merging these guys together. We're going to have you come onto this side of the belt and this side of the belt. We're also going to have you and you also go onto that top side of the belt. You, on the other hand, we need to split you 50-50. So you need to be on the top side of the belt, and then we're going to split half of them to go to the bottom side of the belt and the other half to stay on the top side of the belt. And the only other thing I have to do is take the blue circuits from over here that were on the top side of the belt and put them on the bottom side of the belt. Done. So it should give us a single hardcore belt of blue circuits, which we can just bring over to our satellite build. Batteries and accumulators need a smelter setup, which I want to say is done, but I honestly don't think it is. I honestly think I forgot to allocate smelters for this entirely. But the basics of it is we have iron. That's it. Iron comes in the top. Iron gets split half on the top side of this belt to run into our chemical plant. And copper comes from the bottom, which gets split between two builds. So this copper is going to run this set of chemical plants for batteries and this set. The rest of the iron, some of it gets fed into here to make our sulfuric acid, and the rest of the iron gets sent down here to actually be fed into the assembly machines to make accumulators. And yes, we are doing iron on the top half of the belt, and we're bringing out accumulators on the bottom half of the belt. Yes, it's a little bit convoluted, I guess is probably the best way of putting it. But it's the best system I could come up with. So that's the plan there. For anybody who's curious, all the water, for all the oil builds, chem plants, a whole lot of them, we have these blasting caps, which make water anywhere. Built on the premise that if I can dig a hole, if I can landfill anything anywhere, surely in the age of launching multiple rockets to space, I can dig a damn hole. So that's where our water comes from. And yeah, I obviously need to blueprint down a crap ton more smelters. This smelter block, all of this smelter block is iron and copper for those green circuits up there that were feeding the blue circuits. This smelter block, which is quite sizable as well, put it politely, is for these green circuits, which literally have one job in life, and that is to make solar panels. Because solar panels need lots and lots of green circuits, plus they need a little bit of steel and a little bit of copper. And looking at the build, obviously green circuits coming here, so we might as well get these guys done at the same time. There it is. There. Okay, then these guys get shipped in here in pairs. So we're going to have you come down and you come down. And hopefully should be just as simple as that. But really, no, I didn't think I'd be that lucky. Okay. So we're going to have to do something like this over and over again. And keep going sideways to get to the last set of... keep going this way to get to the next set of green circuits. That one, that one. I'm starting to worry about the amount of room that I'm going to run out of. Hang on. I have 8 of those. That's only 14. Yeah, it looks like it was slightly off with my blueprinting. And it looks like I'm missing a few. Along with a tiny bit of free space to actually get these guys plumbed together. And some blue belt, it turns out. Okay. We're going to give myself a little bit of breathing room. Yes, about that breathing room. Obviously, it always looks better with all the belts hard up against one another. Great. Maybe I'm going to have to recheck my maths. Maybe I accidentally blueprinted down too many solars, which is what I really, really hope. But we will see. So yeah, that's our green circuit hookup. And then over here, spreading out forever, basically, we have steel production. Because, oh, and copper. Yeah. So remember how I said that the solar panels needed just a little bit of copper with a touch of steel and lots and lots of green circuits. So we go back and look at the recipe and just as important, the belt layout. We can see we need 5 copper and 5 steel. As we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they have a straight belt fitting in this side, which would be the copper, with a straight belt fitting in the top, which would be the steel. Over here, we have our copper smelters themselves, which, as with all our previous smelters, actually output 2 lanes worth. So this will give me 4 lanes of copper right here, plus... Remember that belt that we left all the way back there? That belt? That belt needs to get from there to here. Because we've got 2 lanes of copper, or 4 lanes worth of copper. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that 5th lane is coming from all the way over there to all the way over here somehow. I have a feeling it's going to be lots of undergrounds, like right through the middle of a build. And then up a laneway. And then probably fed in from the left-hand side rather than the right-hand side. We'll see. We'll see. But on top of that, we need steel. And these guys need a lane of steel each. And if you remember our steel smelters, which I showed off before, wherever they are. Oh, crap. I don't know how many of the smelters put down for the low density structures either. Oh boy. So our steel smelters, I know where they are over here at least. Our steel smelters are the short ones. So our steel smelters here output a red belt. Just a red belt worth of steel. So that means I have to take 1.5 of them, merge them together. Another 1.5, merge them together. Well, I gotta take 3 of them, merge them into two lanes. Actually, I don't even think they put out that much. Hang on, we have a calculator somewhere. So a block. Every second furnace, because we need 1 to make iron and 1 make steel. So every second furnace does 1 steel per second. We need 45. So if we come back over to this build, which basically means we need 90 smelters. 96 smelters. That section there, so 5 rows wide and however tall, is 1 lane of steel. Which means that's another lane of steel. From there to there. That's another lane of steel. That's, you guessed it, another lane. And another lane. So that gives us our 5 lanes of steel to go in here and make solar panels. After we've done with all that spaghetti and all the trains to deliver all the ore and everything else, like there's still a lot of infrastructure to go in, which means a lot more beacons have to be delivered, a lot more roboports, not beacons, speed modules, everything else. We finally get over to here. So this is the final number I need to get down to. Like 25 per minute, we'll take 26.25, which is just an astronomical amount of materials. As you can see, it's basically a full belt. So it's a full blue belt with accumulators, full blue belt of low density structures, blue belt with the blue circuits, 2 radars per second, which, you know, obviously this has got too many speed modules around it. Still has too many. 2.5. 2.5. Copy that, put that there, and you can have just 1. So, yeah, you know, we still need to get an astronomical amount of material into this machine, and that was the thing. This is why it was overbuilt originally, because I know for a fact that I can't actually get these materials into this machine fast enough. I actually need to have several machines making radars to then pass those radars on a belt into the satellite maker. But then I need another 21 rocket fuel and another 42. It's actually 42 and a half. That's what all the numbers are. 42 and a half solar panels per minute, per second. So it's a blue belt, a blue belt, a blue belt, a blue belt, half a blue belt with just a smidge of radars on top. So that's where the build is currently. This, like I said, was a little bit of a walkthrough episode. See where we're up to, see what's still going to come. Ideally, I'd like to get this set up as fast as possible. And then we might even go as far as turning this on and then playing with the oil live. Because we can't mix fluids now. So if we can't mix fluids now, you can't really screw it up. Anyway. That's going to be it for this episode. As you can see, I still have a whole bunch of crap to do. And actually, I've been working on this for several hours over the weekend, which may mean this weekend you get a few more mod highlights and a few less rocket per minute episodes. We'll see. Like I said, there's a lot to do. It's at that stage where the big builds are very big. I'm sort of thinking in hindsight, like this was made for 5 rockets per minute. And I scaled this out at 25 satellites per minute, figuring that was about the same size. I'm starting to wish I'd made this one at just 5 satellites per minute, because it just would have made all the maths a whole lot easier. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I will see you throughout the week for more of the rocket per minute mad base. Oh, and I still haven't got coal up here yet. Yep. Like I said, there's a few little things that need just a tiny little amount of tweaks. Anyway, that's it for this episode. As I said, thank you guys for watching. I will see you throughout the week for more episodes. But right at the moment, like I said, I've got a lot of other things I need to do. So I'm going to get down to putting down some big blueprints, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.